All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our introduction to Brightwheel. My name is Patrick Mullins. I am with Spark Learning Lab. We are excited to welcome two individuals from Brightwheel, Nick and Jamie, to be able to help lead this presentation for you. We're going to go over a few features, answer some questions, but first, just a couple housekeeping items. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted at the end of the month, along with our other vendor meetings, which will be happening over the next 2 weeks. After the presentation, we will share where you can go for more support and information. And we would ask that you please stick around to the end and answer a brief poll so we can make sure that we're meeting your needs and expectations. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Brightwheel.
Hi, everyone. Super excited to be here today. My name is Nick Hunt, and I'm the State Partnerships Lead, working alongside our wonderful partner, Spark Learning Lab here, as well as OE COSL. We're thrilled to be one of the possible options you have as a provider in the state of Indiana, and we're looking forward to sharing more about the Brightwheel platform with you today. My teammate Jamie is going to be doing a really wonderful overview of the platform here shortly, but I will be staying on the call to answer any questions that you have. So feel free to put those in the chat below. That way, if Jamie answers them during the presentation, we can make sure we get them to you, or at the end, we'll wrap everything up and go through those questions together. So looking forward to having you all here, and thank you for taking the time out of your very busy days to share some time with us and get to know Brightwheel a bit more.
And I'm on mute. Okay. Hi, awesome, wonderful. I'm Jamie. I used to be a teacher, so I want to first start by saying thank you for all the hard work that you do. I know it's not easy. I really appreciate it. I also am now a mother, and so I'm seeing Brightwheel from the parent side, and I'm grateful that you're taking the time to look at this because from a parent's perspective, it means the world to me to see photos and updates of my little one throughout the day. So again, I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to walk you through Brightwheel. It's a very user-friendly platform. It's very simple. It's kind of all in one, and it has a lot of wonderful features that really will help you save time. They'll help you get paid on time, and it will help you run your business and delight your parents and families. And so I've been with Brightwheel for 7 years. I love when I get emails from providers who say that for the first time in decades, their accounts receivable is now 0, or they get parents high-fiving them in the hallway for all the fun activities that they're doing. It's really cool to hear that. So I'm gonna share Brightwheel with you, and I'm gonna walk you through how it's all set up. And I want to just start by saying we're gonna hold your hand every step of the way. So if you do choose Brightwheel, we have a large team. I'm so excited to say I joined Brightwheel when we were 10 employees. We now have over 500. We have dedicated onboarding teams to help you get set up, help you transition your data for you. We could do that very quickly and easily. We can also help you get set up on billing. So we can help you create those tuition plans that you want. And I've got to say we have the absolute best award-winning customer support team so that if you need help, you can live chat in, we can get on a phone call. We have the team to help you out. So it's not just about the platform, but it's also about the support you can receive after you get signed up. And we have more users on Brightwheel. And so therefore you join a community and we get you connected to other providers who are using the platform and sharing kind of tips and tricks with you, which is kind of cool. So all that to say is I'm going to go ahead and start by walking you through accessing the platform. And to do that, you're going to go to mybrightwheel.com. This is how you're going to log in, mybrightwheel.com. You can just log into your account. So we're going to create a username and a password for you so that you log right in. You don't have to download anything to your computer. You don't have to install anything. It's all cloud-based. So you can access it from any device, anywhere. mybrightwheel.com, you can log in. And if you do have a phone or tablet, you can download the app, the Brightwheel app, and everything will be seamlessly integrated. So if you update the app, it'll update the desktop version. If you update the desktop version, it'll update the app. When you invite your parents, they'll have a desktop version that they can log into. They'll also have the parent app on their phone, and that's how you're going to be able to communicate with them. So from here, what I'm looking at right now, I just want to share with you is the dashboard. This is April 9th, today's dashboard. What we're going to do when we first join is we're going to help you upload your students, your student profiles. So wherever that data lives today, we can help bulk upload the student list into Brightwheel. Now you can always add students one by one, but we're going to be able to easily upload your roster. We can actually drag and drop a file into Brightwheel, or if you have another software, we can export a list out of your other software, drag and drop it in here, and we're going to be able to bulk upload your student roster for you. Okay. Once we do that, every student will have a profile. This is my niece, Gabriella. You can see her name, allergies, birth date. If you scroll down, you'll also see on her profile contacts, parents, family members, approved pickups, emergency contacts. We have all different types of contacts. You can have as many different contacts on the child's profile as you like. Okay. We will also help you bulk upload your parent and contact information as well. So if you have this profile information and parent contact information, if you already have that, we can actually drag and drop it into Brightwheel and upload that data for you. Okay. You're also going to be able to add attachments to a child's profile. So you can upload forms or documents or anything, notes that you have. You can add those as an attachment on the child's profile. And you can basically set notes or expiration dates. You can say, hey, this is a medical form. It has an expiration date. And that way you can run reports and see if anything is upcoming or going to be expiring soon. You can also share these attachments with staff members or keep it for your eyes only, or you could share it with staff and parents and families too. So we have different permission settings as well as you can run reports on attachments, and we're going to share with you like kind of how to best do that during onboarding. Okay, so logged into your account, we've added your students, we've added your parents. Now, just because we add parents doesn't mean that they're invited yet. We just added their data to Brightwheel. When you're ready, we're going to invite them to join you. And you click this invite button, and parents will receive an email invitation as well as text message reminders and email reminders to download the app or log in the desktop version and get connected to just their child. So parents are going to download the app, they're going to log in, and they're going to see just their student's profile, just what you decide to share with them. Okay. Parents can add, if you give them permission, they can add other family members, other parents, or other approved pickups, other emergency contacts. They can do the hard work for you. They can even update their child's profile information. So we could have it so that parents go in and see, hey, that's my child's allergy list. We need to add a new allergy. Parents can do that for you during, for example, an enrollment window. That is a permission setting that you can turn on or off. So you can also turn that off so parents can't go in and do that. And I just want to share with you that these settings, we will help you tailor these settings, tailor these controls to what you care about most. And again, we're going to cover a lot of that during the onboarding process. Okay. I just want to share with you that we can do it. So once we add your parents, they're going to download the app. And then if you're ready, you can add them to billing. And that means that you can start invoicing families on Brightwheel. Parents will add their method of payment. You get to choose what kind of method of payments you accept. So you can choose to accept credit cards, or you can choose to accept bank accounts, or you could just use Brightwheel as a way of tracking offline payments that you receive. But the idea is that parents are going to be able to add their method of payment and seamlessly push a button and pay you, or pay you automatically every month, every week, however you want to set up your billing plans. Okay, so we have our students, we have our parents. We're going to organize those students and parents into classrooms. You can create as many different classrooms as you'd like. Just click new room, name them anything you want. That way you can bill each classroom different amounts, or you can even keep track of attendance by classroom, and you can basically slice and dice the reporting according to classrooms. And that can help with things like making sure that you're in ratio all the time. You can even set what the ratio should be in a classroom, and Brightwheel will notify you if you're ever over ratio, for example. So you can create classrooms, you can name them anything you want. And then we have a lot of different types of programs on Brightwheel. We have programs that are in-home programs. We also have center-based programs. We have multi-sites. We even have customers that have hundreds of sites. And so the idea is that we're going to be able to create classrooms. We also can create multiple locations if you happen to have multiple sites, or not. If you're an in-home provider, this could just be one classroom. The idea here too is if you happen to have staff members, again, if you're an in-home, you could just have yourself, but if you happen to have staff, you can add in all the staff and you can assign them different levels of permission. For example, what classrooms they have access to or what children profiles they have access to. You can also keep track of the staff in terms of their profile information, their emergency contacts, their attachments, time tracking, even payroll, tracking things like sick leave and PTO. All of that is available. So all of your data, all of your information is all organized in one place. It's going to be beautiful. So much simpler. So we have our school, we have our classrooms, we have our staff, parents, and families. And now here comes the fun part. So I'm going to walk you through from the start of the day what check-in looks like on Brightwheel. So when you first have that, morning period, all the parents are coming in the door, we have a lot of different options for check-in. One option is parents on their own device. Once they're there, once they're in your system as an approved pickup, they can choose a 4-digit PIN code and use their phone to scan in and then type that 4-digit PIN code on their own device and sign their own screen to capture signatures and timestamps. This is hugely helpful, especially during the pandemic. We had parents not even able to enter the building, but now parents are using this quick scan as a way of quickly checking in their students safely, securely, but not having to come in and touch your device, but only once they're there. And it works really well, especially during those busy times where all the parents seem to pick up and drop off their children all at once. So this is one way of doing check-in. Another way of doing check-in is the provider can actually select the students one by one and check them in, either from a tablet or from the desktop. So the provider can check in students, or we can have parents check in the kids on your tablets, or we can have parents scan in. Again, we have multiple different ways of doing things. We can tailor to you. But the end result is you're going to see what student checked into what classroom at what time, down to the second. You're going to have that parent signature and their name printed underneath so you can read it. And the timestamps are accurate. So parents can't say, oh, it's 9 o'clock when really it's like 9:13. Those timestamps are automatically recorded and you can print out all of this information at any point in time. It's so much easier to store and retrieve data because you have it in Brightwheel. You can run reports, you can print it out, you can see exactly who was in the building, how many hours they were there, down to the minute. Okay. We store the data from the day you start with Brightwheel indefinitely, so you can always go back in time, even years in the past, and look up attendance reports. And in that same vein, you can also use Brightwheel for things like scheduling. You can kind of project what attendance should be. You can have your staff schedules, your student schedules in there. And just like the students check in and out on Brightwheel, you can also have staff check in and out on Brightwheel. And then you can have things like their time cards, tracking, real-time room ratios. It becomes very helpful. Okay, I'm going to cover a lot. If this feels like a deluge of information, then don't worry. That's why we have onboarding. I just want to give you a sense of all the things that Brightwheel can do. I'm going to talk about check-in. I'm going to talk about parent communication and billing. But just know that we will, again, work with you one-on-one. There's lots of different ways to configure your account so that you get what you need. I love this. This is messaging on Brightwheel. You're able to send a message to a family or to a whole class or to the whole school all at once. You can even do staff to staff messaging. So you can say, hey, Johnny's mom's here, or don't forget, we have a staff meeting. You can internally communicate on Brightwheel. You can send out messages like newsletters, even text alerts. So if you have bad weather or an update, an urgent message, you can send out a text alert on Brightwheel. There's no limit, no character limits or anything like that. The other thing that I just love about Brightwheel, especially when my 2-year-old, and I can't believe I did this. I literally cried like into my coffee cup, dropping him off, even though I was a teacher, even though I know you're not supposed to be emotional. I couldn't help myself. And it was so helpful after I dropped him off to get a beautiful photo and update to know that he was okay. So you can actually do that on Brightwheel. You can select the children. You can do it one by one, or you can do it after the fact, during break time, during nap time. You can give parents a quick little update. Hey, they're doing great, or this is what they ate today. These are called daily activities. You can track them in Brightwheel, and then you can share with mom and dad, um, what you're doing, all the hard work that you're already doing in the classroom. And so you can kind of show off, hey, this is what Mia's learning today. And so you can share those photos, you can share those pictures. And again, parents will only see the photos and updates that you share with them only when you tag their child in it. Okay. All right, so parents will have this beautiful feed. I can't tell you how much it means to me as a parent and how much this can help even kind of sell your program to families that tour. You can show it off. Parents are very quick to show off pictures of their own kids, and they talk about your program to other parents, and that can really help with word of mouth marketing, which we still know today is the #1 way that schools attract families to their program. So sharing photos and updates, you don't have to do it real time. You can always do it later after the fact, but you can do so in a private, secure way on Brightwheel. And you can give parents all kinds of updates, not only just on what they're doing, but education updates on what they're learning. So to the extent that you want to, you can create lesson plans in Brightwheel. You can share this with parents, like, hey, here's what we're working on this month, or here's the theme of the month. You can share daily lesson plans or not. You could keep this as like a tool that just you and your teachers use. But the idea is you can add in content, you can share lessons. We have the Indiana state standards pre-uploaded into Brightwheel. And I have to say, for my life as a teacher, I had all of this in like notebooks on Post-it notes. And when I left with all my stuff. And so this is a great way if you can get your teachers to put it into Brightwheel, then if a new teacher comes in the door, she has a library of lessons. Teachers become more collaborative, and then you have lessons that get better and better every year, which I think is really cool. And so you can go back in time and say, what was I doing last month at this time? And you can pull lessons and you can have your own library. And then again, if you want to, teachers can not only share cute photos and updates, they can share milestones, progress. Hey, your 10-month-old, they're not just working on picking up Cheerios. This is the pincer movement. This is actually really important for your 10-month-old. That tells a huge like quality story to parents, and then they become excited on working on those same skills at home. That creates this beautiful like 360 learning environment between staff and parents, and it's all just to benefit the kids. It's actually really cool to see. So we have pre-uploaded state standards in there, progress indicators, and then you can run a quick report across the classroom and see how the kids are doing, maybe who's doing well, maybe who's maybe falling behind. And you don't have to share this with parents, but you can if you want to. We even have beautiful portfolios you can put together for the kids. Okay, so parent communication, so important, so hard to do well, and we're going to give you the tools to help you with it. The last thing I just want to share with you is billing. I mean, so often I hear people are like, hey, I got into this business because I love kids, I love my community, I want to serve families. I do not want to have all of these awkward billing money conversations. And so what we're trying to do here at Brightwheel is completely eliminate that kind of work. We want to automate everything we can about billing. So you have your deposit account set up, parents have their payment method already in there. And then every month or every week, like clockwork, those transfer right into your bank account and you can just spot check it. That's what we want to drive towards. So at the start, you're going to be assigned an onboarding coach. We're going to help you set up billing the way that you want it to work. Once you set it up, it kind of runs by itself. It's beautiful. And so what you do is you create these billing plans. You say, hey, this should be my monthly tuition plan for my toddler room or my pre-K room. Parents should receive bills every month. When do you want the payments due? Let's just choose a day. Let's say March 8th. When should parents receive their invoices? When do you want the reminders to go out? You just answer a few questions. You set up the charges. And then every month, without you doing anything at all, parents will get those invoices sent to them. I'm going to show you this here. Do you see the right hand, the little phone? That's like what the parents see. And then you have all these settings that you can kind of tinker with. But the idea is that parents can just see, hey, this is my invoice, this is my kid, this is how much money is due, and they can push a button to pay. They can select what method of payment, or you can make this whole thing automatic where they don't even push a button to pay. It's just, hey, here's your invoice. Thank you so much. You've paid. Here's your receipt. And parents can then run their own tax reports. They don't have to ask you for that. Okay. All right, I'm going to just recap that a little bit, but basically we can help you set up your billing plans. And then every week they can go out automatically. You don't have to trigger them or anything like that. Parents could get those statements automatically. They can pay you automatically, or they can push a button to pay you. And then you watch the money roll into your bank account. And then parents can run their own tax reports and see their own statements. And we have a lot of power in Brightwheel. We can actually split the invoice. For example, we can send mom her portion and dad his portion. For example, if you have a split family, or if grandma is pitching in, we can actually send her a portion of the invoice. We can keep track of things like subsidies. It's really helpful. And honestly, this is what really distinguishes Brightwheel. The billing platform on Brightwheel is by far and away more powerful, more flexible, more intuitive than any other provider in the space, any other software provider in the space. Okay, great. So all that to say, there's more to it. There's all kinds of cool things you can do with fillable forms and fillable documents that you can send to parents and families. We've got really beautiful ways for you to track your admissions, so you can kind of see all of the families that are kind of coming in the door. I'm going to show you a couple slides here. We've got some data things for you, like tracking immunizations. We can send you kind of alerts if you're overdue. We've got really great ways of doing meal tracking. If you happen to do CACFP reporting, we can do menus and meal tracking. You can share those with parents or not. Keep that internal. You can easily print off these reports or download these reports for CACFP reimbursement. We also have, just again, to call this out, all kinds of like wonderful features around the staff and keeping track and tabs on the staff. And I think I just want to wrap up by just saying that, it's not just about features even, it's the support behind it. So I want to call this out again, because so much of your success will be dependent on how you use it and the kind of support you can expect. This is our little chat bubble here. You can immediately message the team. They typically reply in under a minute. So when you first write in, it gets connected, auto-routed to a real person here in the US who's going to help answer your question if they can. Maybe it's a simple thing that they can do over chat. Maybe you want a phone call. They'll say, hey, here's all the 15-minute slots we have available today. You can pick a day or pick a time and we'll call you. And I just really love that about Brightwheel. It's not just about helping you get set up. We have an awesome onboarding experience. It's about continually serving you. And not just you, but your staff, your parents and families too. We can even take questions from families, for example, if they have any issues. So all in all, it's going to save you time. We have a really high customer satisfaction rating because of it, and parents are in love. And so the next steps, we're going to talk to you about how you can have a quick conversation with one of us on our team helping set up your account. And then we schedule that onboarding. We work with you, and then we'll do some trainings, and we'll invite your parents and launch, and we can get you fully up and running truly in less than a week. And so again, thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer questions now. But again, I'm really excited to be able to offer this to you for all the subscription free of charge for at least 2 years. Cool. All right, Nick, passing it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. I'm going to go ahead and answer some of the questions that were submitted in the chat, make sure that we get to everybody. The first question was about whether or not PowerSchool syncs with Brightwheel. We don't currently have an integration available directly to the PowerSchool platform. However, when you're getting your Brightwheel account set up, what you can do is download the information from your PowerSchool account, which I know often has that same contact information for parents and families and guardians, as well as student information. When you download that, then we'll be able to upload it into your Brightwheel account, and all of that will be there when you start your platform. And then moving forward, you'll be able to easily add students to the platform in Brightwheel if you're using it for things like communication, keeping track of activities, or even billing. Another question was about whether or not Brightwheel communicates with Child Plus, which I know a number of Head Start programs in the state of Indiana utilize. Most of the programs we speak to who are Child Plus users know that that's a requirement of Head Start programming. And so Brightwheel is not going to replace or be used in spite of your Child Plus account. Rather, what we see a lot of programs do is they use Child Plus for their required Head Start reporting, and then Brightwheel can be used as a way to help you manage things like family engagement, communication, daily records, attendance, all of the other elements. And so most programs that we speak to that are using Child Plus and Brightwheel have specific ways that they utilize their components to meet different requirements. Geofence sign-in was something that we actually did experiment with, and the feedback we heard from providers is that they really preferred, for those who don't know what that is, it's being able to sign in based on how close you are to a program. Providers that we spoke with actually preferred that they had the parent physically check the child in or out at the site. And so currently you do have to be able to be on site with your app as a parent or guardian or approved pickup to check a child in or out. Or if the program itself has a tablet, then the check-in or check-out approved pickup or guardian can go ahead and do that directly on the tablet. But we do have the physical need to be there to check a child in or out of a program. For the curriculum, if you choose to add on and purchase the Brightwheel curriculum that Jamie mentioned during the call, then that would be an additional charge. That's something that you can decide for your program. And then the materials in that monthly kit will be sent to you for each month's thematic union. That's part of our experience curriculum. However, if you are just adding in your own lesson plans and activities based on the curriculum you currently use, or if you create your own, then you're able to add those activities and lesson plans to the platform, tag the appropriate Indiana learning standards, and then when your teachers are logging any observations in the platform, they're automatically also then able to mark where the child is on their developmental milestones on Indiana learning standards based on the activity. I know Patrick already answered this, but yes, current customers can definitely take advantage of this partnership. What you'll do in order to take advantage of this, whether you're a current customer or interested in learning more, is go ahead and log into your iLead portal. On the side, you'll see a grants button. When you click that, there's a tile that says childcare management software. That button takes you to the application to get Brightwheel for your program. So whether you're new to using software, considering changing from what you're currently using, or already a Brightwheel customer, that application works for everybody. For the fees for credit card payments and ACH payments, I have those pulled up here. So currently the Indiana rates are set for any charges done with a credit card would be 2.9% on a credit card purchase. ACH, which is direct bank transfers, are going to be 90 cents on a charge. And you can pass those charges on to families. So you can make the decision whether that's something you're paying or family members are paying. One thing I will note is that Brightwheel does not have any additional charges beyond those. So there's no batch fees or any kind of other way that you're going to be billed. The only time that there's going to be that charge on the billing is specifically when a payment is made. There's a question, can you accommodate a sliding scale? I want to make sure I'm understanding that question correctly. So whether, Michelle, you want to come off of mute or add more context in the chat. If you're asking whether you can set different rates and payments for your tuition, you can create as many customizable plans as you would like for families. So you can create one single payment plan for all of your infants, or you may have a payment plan that's specific to each child. It's totally up to you to customize how you set those payment plans up. Also, you can set up payment plans with multiple payers or include subsidy payers, so you can see all the ways that tuition is being paid for and then track that so that it's included in your invoices. Nikki, does Brightwheel work for accounts payable and receivable? So currently, all of the finances when it comes to tuition, payments made, everything is captured in your Brightwheel invoice reporting. And since folks are on this call, I'm excited to share a little preview. We are actually right now in the final testing phase of our revenue and our expense tracking reporting. So we're getting feedback from a group of providers on how you can actually link your own credit or debit card to your account so that all of your receipts and purchases are automatically added into your Brightwheel account to be able to monitor money coming in and going out. We are super excited about this. This feature came about because of provider feedback from folks like all of you. And so both of those will be available. We're expecting it in the next few weeks. And then the last question I see here, the grant currently is for your subscription to pay for your Brightwheel account. The current partnership we have with Indiana does not cover the curriculum. So again, signing up for this partnership provides you with all of the features that Jamie walked through on this call. Yes, there is a general ledger download to QuickBooks. We work with a ton of providers who use QuickBooks, and it's very easy to download or even integrate your account with your current QuickBooks account. Thank you all for these questions. I hope you didn't mind me going through each of them, but I wanted to make sure we got to all of them because I know there's so many program-specific items. The other thing I'll plug, I know Jamie mentioned this, is if you still have questions and you know that you have some things going through your mind about your own program, when you sign up through the iLead portal for Brightwheel, or if you contact us at indiana@mybrightwheel.com, what we'll do is set you up with a one-on-one phone call with a specialist on our team who will be able to walk you through exactly how the platform works, answer any questions that you have, and show you different features. So if you have that particular, like if you're using something now and you want to see what does that look like in Brightwheel, our team is absolutely able to address those. So you can see in the chat a link to the application page, more information from OE Castle on exactly what this partnership entails. And then that email address, indiana@mybrightwheel.com, is a great way for current or potential customers to reach out and set up that demo call so that you can really dig into the platform and make sure that it meets your needs.
All right, thank you, Jamie and Nick. Any other questions before we get ready to wrap things up? All right, perfect. Again, we thank you for being here. In the chat, we did put a few links. We have one to the Office of Early Childhood and Out of School Learning Childcare Management System page. There you will find all of the information that you could be looking for. There's a one-pager on Brightwheel, our application guide to be able to complete that application successfully. And again, as the slide shows, if you have any questions, especially around that application process, feel free to reach out to Spark Learning Lab. You can call us at 1-800-299-1627, or you can email us at businesssupport@indianaspark.com. And before we go, we do have a quick survey, if you don't mind completing it. It is 3 questions, so when I say quick, I mean quick. Again, we just want to make sure that we are answering your questions and getting you the information that you need. But with that, again, please complete that. And if you have any other questions, feel free to stick around and we'll make sure to get those answered. Again, if not, feel free to contact at indiana@mybrightwheel.com or use the Spark information shared on the slide.